Good evening. We'll give it a few minutes to let everyone get on. Hope you're having a good evening so far. Carolyn, how are you? I think it's definitely going to be an interesting show tonight. We're going to be digging into what happened at the Orange Beach, Alabama City Council meeting last night. It was a very interesting one. And these people, they need some advisors to say, shut up. Stop talking. Because they tell on themselves when they think they are attempting to talk their way out of something, but always end up telling on themselves. I don't know why they feel the need that they need to speak out when they know that they're involved. It blows my mind. I compare it reminds me of attorneys. You know, I've arrested people from every profession, and I've arrested a few attorneys and investigated some as well. I've never, to date, had an attorney that I was investigating, arresting, whatever, that declined to speak with me. It never happened. Meanwhile, they're out telling everyone, hey, don't speak to the police if they get you. Which, honestly, pretty smart decision most of the time. But attorneys themselves, they think they're so intelligent, the ones I've dealt with. And this is not all attorneys. I live with one, so I got to be careful. But the ones that I've dealt with in an investigative capacity like that, not once did they shut up, and they should have. But I think they thought they could just talk their way out of it because they thought they were so much more intelligent than me. But it never worked out like that. And I get the same vibe from Tony Keenan. And yes, I know that's not how you pronounce his name. That goes over some of your heads at times. And now this Wendy Pickering, her last name is hard for me to say because I want to say, like, I know a bunch of Pinkertons. And so it's hard for me to say that because I keep wanting to call her Pinkerton. But months ago, long time ago, actually close to a year ago, probably, the first time I ever mentioned Tony Keenan's name, someone told me I was mispronouncing. I was like, oh, okay. Well, this go around, when this all came back up and I started talking about him again, I purposely did that. And there's always people in the comments, you're mispronouncing his name. Like nobody's told me that before. Some people don't deserve their name to be pronounced correctly. It's one of those. I am petty sometimes about when it comes to assholes like him. I'm a little petty. And watching that, so if you have not seen the video of the city council meeting last night with in Orange Beach, Alabama, it's a clown show. I think that's what Tony Keenan actually calls it at one point, and he's right. It's a clown show, and it's all because of him. We're going to watch it, and we're going to. I woke up this morning and I had like 10 different people messaging me, telling me about it, and I'm glad they did because I didn't know anything about it last night. But they all were like, "Hey, check out the body language in this." And so I start watching it, and yeah, it's Tony gives himself away. And again, Tony Keenan is not that intelligent. That's very obvious. I'm sure he is intelligent in certain issues, or certain topics, not issues, but topics. Overall, he does not have a lot of knowledge. He's not knowledgeable, and that's a big difference. It's way more important to be knowledgeable than intelligent in topics. He is not the most knowledgeable person. Therefore, his attorney should tell him, dude, stop talking. Do not even mention this at all. Nothing. We saw the same thing with Walker County Alabama Sheriff Nick Smith. He never could stop talking. He just couldn't. They don't have it in them to just shut up. And if you've been following me, or if you're in law enforcement and you've ever been to any of my classes, one of my big things is, obviously, body language is very telling. And body language is the number one way to detect deception and nervousness. Sometimes those go hand in hand, sometimes not. Word usage is also important, and as far as my theories on it. And that's what so I also teach word usage, which semi falls in line with statement analysis, but they are a little different. Statement analysis is more, we're talking about written words. But in statement analysis, you pay very close attention to the words that people use. Well, I do the same thing when people are speaking verbally as well. And because sometimes it can be very telling. And as I've said, most people, human nature, we do not like to just tell a lie unless you have unless you have certain mental illnesses. But if you don't have those, it's very hard for us to just lie. Our brain does not want us to do that. That's why body language is so telling when we're being deceptive, because and I always put this stuff in layman's terms so everybody can understand it, or try to. Our brain is fighting with our mouth, because our mouth is wanting to say if somebody asks us, "Hey, did you take that car?" And you did, but you don't want to tell the truth about it. Our mouth's wanting to say no, but our brain's saying, "No, you can't say that. That's not true." And so that little tuggle there causes our body to start going crazy in certain ways. It's a very elementary way to put it, but that's kind of what happens. So we don't like to just straight up lie. So what do? Well, most of the time we don't. Most people technically don't actually lie. They just don't answer the question. So when you ask someone a question that you're wanting to know the answer to, if you will pay very close attention to their word usage, you will notice if they're being deceptive, you will notice they just didn't answer your question. We see this a lot in politicians, and people joke about it because that's the case. So that's our brain's way of not being honest, but also not lying, is what we're telling ourselves. It makes us feel a little better. So instead of us just coming out and saying no, we're going to say, why would I take that car? I don't have that. I've got my own car. That's an old car. I wouldn't want that one. My car's way nicer. I'd never answered the question. So that's what we do. So word usage is very important in a lot of situations. It can be trickier, but anyway, not getting all nerdy on that. So we're going to go over Tony Keenan's word usage that he used last night in certain situations, and this Wendy Pickering's statements. I'd never heard of her till last night. Or till today when I saw her on there. I didn't even know who she was. Looked into her a little bit as far as asked some people that are down there in the know that I get information from, and so learned a little bit about her. Apparently, she is a private investigator, and she's very nervous speaking in front of people. I'll tell you that, which is strange to me as somebody that's supposed to be an investigator. But anyway, we're going to analyze all of that, and it's going to be very interesting, I believe. So let me pull, and we're going to start. We're not going to play the whole city council meeting because the first 30 minutes of it is business as usual stuff that none of us probably care about. Sorry, I thought I had this pulled up already, but I didn't. And after we get through all of this, if we have time, which we probably will, we're also going to speak about, discuss the ramp, the cult disguised as a ministry that's based out of Hamilton, Alabama. So we'll probably go into some of that as well.
And accusing me.
Let's back up a little more.
It has been for us in the past, trying to,
3 years now.
how many ice cream trucks you're going to sign up, where they're going to go.
Wendy's
That-
stepping up
that's the only
next.
issue.
I just keep
Everything
on missing
seems
it, so we're just going
different
to watch it through for here.
Again, if everybody's good with ice cream trucks, I'm fine with that too. I just think that could.
If
be
you're not familiar with the city council and the mayor,
for us in the past,
the
trying to permit
guy on the
stuff.
farthest left, our left, is Robertson. He's the weirdo that we've
Anybody
discussed a
else?
little bit
Anything
with the
anybody
weird
wants to
videos.
comment?
And the guy that's third from the right is Mayor Tony Keenan.
Sorry, my name is Wendy Pickering, and I have been a resident of Orange Beach for about 3 years now. I know some of the stuff, this is my first meeting I've been to, so I'm kind of, haven't kept up with everything that's been going on. But
Can y'all hear that
there are
good?
some things that I feel like need to be said, some things that need to be addressed, especially with some of the council members having said some things about me that are not true.
Oh, somebody just said, "Miss, it's all about me." Oh, let me show y'all this very quickly. I'm going to be doing a full podcast on this in the next few days, and so I've saved a little. We put together a quick little thing here. I'll show you.
This is not about y'all, okay? This is not about y'all, okay? This is about me. This is not about y'all, okay? This is about me. It's about me. This is not about y'all, okay? This is about me.
Little glimpse. We'll get to the real part in just a second on the full video here. Yeah, I caught the "it's about me." Actually, that's one thing that stood out to me the most.
So I'm just going to go ahead and get this off my chest. How long do I have?
Um,
I'm used to
I
2
don't
minutes.
know.
That statement. Oh, this is not professional at all, but her "I'm used to 2 minutes" statement when she's talking to Tony Keenan owned me. Oh, I know I'm not the only one that caught that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be professional.
Hey, yeah, sorry. My name is Wendy Pickering, and
First off, you could tell he knew she was coming up and speaking because he was looking straight at her. He was like, "Anybody else going to have any questions, anything to say, any comments?" And he's looking straight at her. He knew she was going to speak tonight, so they've discussed this.
I have been a resident of Orange Beach for about.
Now, the first part, as far as body language on her, she's at here. Let me blow this up where there's no need in watching these other people, where we can see her better. Okay, that's better. Now, the first part, she's just extremely nervous. I can't say she's nervous because she's about to tell some lies. I can't say that. She's just nervous. So it could just be she's extremely nervous speaking in front of people. But
Problem with ice cream trucks. I think ice cream trucks are fundamentally
good with
How I keep on going back so far.
This is my first meeting.
anything they'd like to ask, comment, thoughts?
You saw him there. Like, you can't see him on y'all's.
Sorry, my name is Wendy Pickering, and I have been a resident of Orange Beach for about 3 years now. I know some of the stuff, this is my first meeting I've been to, so I'm kind of, haven't kept up with everything that's been going on, but there are some things that I feel like need to be said, some things that need to be addressed, especially with some of the council members having said some things about me that are not true. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this off my chest. How long do I have? I'm used to
I
2
don't know.
minutes
It
or 3
depends on what you
minutes.
I'm going to crack up every time. Sorry.
So I've kind of narrowed it down
Yeah.
really good. I don't want to take up much time. I
Well,
just need to get
yeah,
some stuff off of my
just
chest.
The question, the only thing is the parameters that we always work within is everything presented tonight should be constructive and should be in some way resolution oriented, not pointing a finger, not anything of that nature. We try to keep it as positive as we can. So,
Okay.
and I know how touchy
This
the
is my first
subject is.
meeting I've been to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard horror stories,
Yeah.
but this one's first one I've been to, and it has seemed like it's been very pleasant.
Mhm.
And I hate if I have to bring up some things that may not be very comfortable for some of you sitting here, but I believe it's something that does need to be addressed
Mhm.
for the betterment.
I'll tell you
of
who
the
is not
community
comfortable
and
with
everything.
her.
Just my opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I say
I want to blow it back up. I thought it was showing her more, but it's not. It's kind of went out on everybody.
something and it's going a little off, just let me know and I can pull back, okay? So like many people in the community, I followed the controversy surrounding the body worn footage. So I am going to go very shortly into that and my reasons with what I do with work. I request body worn footage all the time.
Now, I want you to catch this. This is one of the big things I caught with her. She literally just says, I request body cam footage all the time with my work. Remember that.
So I do want to kind of dip into the precedent that would be set if we start releasing body worn footage to any.
Which is it, Wendy? You just said part of your job. She's a private investigator. Anybody pretty much could be a private investigator. You just said part of your job constantly requests body camera footage. Then you immediately go into very afraid of the precedent this might set if we start releasing body camera footage to everybody. Okay, you're anybody, Wendy. You're no different than me. You're no different than CC Dixon Moreno. So you got to explain that to me. You're constantly requesting body camera footage, and now you're about to go into this big speech about why body camera footage should not be released. Let me tell you what that means. Wendy is not here speaking on she doesn't think body camera footage should be released. That's my point. She's already made that very clear. If she felt that, she wouldn't be constantly requesting body camera footage as part of her job. She's not here because of that. As soon as I heard her say that, I was like, what? You've just went against what you're about to say. So this is not about her making some big stance, being extremely passionate about body camera footage shouldn't be released. See, you are correct, CC. You are correct. I apologize. I didn't mean it like that. This is, and I'm going to show you, we're going to go into more in depth into it. Wendy doesn't want this particular body camera footage out there because she believes there is something on there that would be very harmful for her. Now, whether there is, I don't have a clue. But Wendy believes there is.
Person that goes to request it, especially if they're not someone that's personally involved in it. So I'm just going to skim over that. My greatest concern, like I said, is with the precedent it will set. Every decision the government makes today becomes the example for tomorrow. Today, the request may involve just the mayor. It may involve another city.
It doesn't involve just the mayor. That's obvious now, Wendy.
Sitting council member. We don't know, but eventually it could be about me. It could be about.
Just this statement would mean nothing to me by itself. So please understand that. Everything that I talk about when I'm looking at when I'm trying to detect deception, when I'm trying to figure out where someone is at, what the truth actually is, whatever the case may be, just one doesn't mean a lot. You have to have more than one indicator. But once you start having indicators and they start falling in line, well, then you've got something. So just her saying this wouldn't mean much by itself, but on top of everything else I've got that I've seen now and that we're going to see, take out this last word she says.
Just the mayor. It may involve another sitting council member. We don't know, but eventually it could be about me. It could be.
Take out the word eventually. She says it could be about me. Keep in mind what I said in the beginning. When you're being dishonest, or when you're talking about something you shouldn't, works the same. Your brain is fighting with your mouth, is the simple way to put it. So your brain is constantly trying to figure out ways to trick your mouth, is how I'll put it. That's why you pay attention to word usage. So this could be a way of her openly saying, it could be me. But adding some other words to it to make her feel better about it. Hope that makes sense.
About you, your daughter, your son, in a DUI or anything. And the fact that, just a veteran suffering a mental health crisis or an innocent citizen just having the worst day of their life. None of us would want that footage of our worst moments for someone that has no involvement in it to get it. Remember, body-worn footage.
Wendy, let's not compare some completely innocent person or some veteran going through a mental health crisis with someone that's getting a DUI. If you get a DUI, you should be embarrassed. Hopefully that'll stop you from ever doing it again. Getting a DUI is not a good selling point here, Wendy. Again, she's just making up stuff because she knows she's not passionate about body camera footage not being released. Because again, she literally had already admitted she requested all the time. This is about her. And so she's trying to come up with crazy things that doesn't make sense to justify why we all should be against body camera footage being released.
Footage, it is not a conviction. It isn't even proof that a crime occurred. It is simply a record of a police encounter, and sometimes it documents innocent people, innocent victims. Sometimes it documents.
And making completely untrue statements. Saying that body camera footage is never, what did she say? Hold on. Let me get the word,
on, in a DUI or anything. And the fact that, just a veteran suffering a mental health crisis or an innocent citizen just having the worst day of their life. None of us would want that footage of our worst moments for someone that has no involvement in it to get it. Remember, body-worn footage, it is not a conviction. It isn't even proof that a crime occurred.
there it is. Body camera footage is not a proof that a crime occurred. Actually, a lot of times it is, Wendy. That's why it's so important. So, again, she's making completely nonsense reasons. So, she didn't sit down for 3 months coming up with this big speech, and she's not been out advocating against body camera footage being released. That's obvious. She's not researched it. She just doesn't want this body camera footage released for whatever reason. But saying it's not that it's not proof of a crime that occurred, a lot of times it is.
It is simply a record of a police encounter, and sometimes it documents innocent people, innocent victims. Sometimes it documents people at their lowest level in their lives. And once that footage is released, the damage to that person's reputation and privacy can never be undone.
That's what it's about. Ruining someone's reputation that can never be undone.
The legislature recognized those privacy concerns when it enacted the law, and those protections exist for a reason.
First off, Alabama state law does not prohibit local governments from putting out body camera footage. Again, she's making a nonsensical statement. No, that's not what the law says. The law doesn't prohibit it. It just says you don't have to. Discretion is left up to the agencies.
That's all I'm going to say on that, is I would hope that y'all would consider that, because once that is set, you open the city up to litigation, because if you allow one person, because they want subscribers and stuff and they're just wanting to get some views, if you allow that, you allow this people to just have their own agenda.
She doesn't even know what she's saying.
To get this footage, then when does it stop? And then you open us up for lawsuits when.
Did you catch that? Word usage. You open us. She hasn't used that term. She has not used that word, us, until then. It opens us up to lawsuits. I find that very interesting. She chose to use us.
You allow somebody to get it, and then somebody else comes along, and why will you not let me get, I'm just going to say, just say, Stuart, you got arrested for a DUI. You wouldn't want that out, would you? You wouldn't want me posting that on Facebook for subscribers. That's.
Don't get a DUI.
Humiliating.
That's what it's about. It's humiliating.
So I'm saying, if you're not a party to it, those laws are there, and I think we need to protect those laws, and I hope y'all can understand where I'm coming from with that. I will go on from that. Another issue, over the past several weeks I have.
I don't know what happened. It just stopped. What's wrong? Did they pull this? Like in the middle of me doing this? I mean, hopefully that's not the case. Let's see. It's just weird it stopped playing all of a sudden.
I want you, I need you, hope.
No, it's still up. Okay. It just wasn't a shock to me. Here, let me pull up the actual video I have downloaded so we don't have to worry about that again.
My name is Wendy Pickering, and I have been a resident of Orange Beach for about 3 years. Now, I
and should be in some way resolution oriented, not pointing a finger, not anything of that nature.
go off, just let me know, and I can. Greatest concern, like I said, is with the precedent it will set. Every decision the government makes today becomes the example for tomorrow. Today, the request may involve just the mayor. It may involve another sitting council person that goes to request it, especially if they're not someone that's personally involved in it. So I'm just going to skim over that. My greatest concern, like I said, is with the precedent it will set. Every decision the government makes today becomes the example for tomorrow. Today, the request may involve just the mayor.
I forgot to bring that up in the first time we watched it. Did you catch that? Today, it may involve just the mayor. Well, we know it doesn't just involve the mayor. We know somebody else was there with them.
It may involve another sitting council member. We don't know, but eventually it could be about me. It could be about you, your daughter, your son, in a DUI or anything. And the fact that, just a veteran suffering a mental health crisis or an innocent citizen just having the worst day of their life. None of us would want that footage of our worst moments for someone that has no involvement in it to get it. Remember, body-worn footage, it is not a conviction. It isn't even proof that a crime occurred. It is simply a record of a police encounter, and sometimes it documents innocent people, innocent victims. Sometimes it documents people at their lowest level in their lives. And once that footage is released, the damage to that person's reputation and privacy can never be undone. The legislature recognized those privacy concerns when it enacted the law, and those protections exist for a reason. That's all I'm going to say on that. Is I would hope.
She's allegedly a private investigator. Does she get this nervous when she's interviewing someone? I hope not, because that would mean she's a horrible interviewer. And I think I said this in the beginning. For someone who's supposed to be a private investigator, why are you so nervous speaking in front of people? I don't get that.
Hope that.
Maybe it's not that you're nervous speaking in front of people. Maybe you're just nervous about speaking about this in front of people. I don't know, honestly.
Y'all would consider that, because once that is set, you open the city up to litigation, because if you allow one person.
She said the city. This is statement analysis 101. She said the city. When you start changing pronouns in the middle of a sentence, red flags.
Because because they want subscribers and stuff, and they're just wanting to get some views. If you allow that, you allow this people to just have their own agendas to get this footage, then when does it stop? And then you open us up for lawsuits
First, it was the city. Now it's us.
when you allow somebody to get it, and then somebody else comes along, and why will you not let me get? I'm
Now it's me. City, us, me.
just going to say, just like, just say, Stuart, you got arrested for a DUI. Nobody, you wouldn't want that out, would you? You wouldn't want me posting that on Facebook for subscribers. That's humiliating. So I'm saying, if you're not a party to it, those laws are there, and I think we need to protect those laws. And I hope y'all can understand where I'm coming from with that.
Oh, we do.
I will go on from that. Another issue, over the past several weeks, I have personally experienced conduct that I believe has no place in public service regarding a post that I had made about this body-worn footage, which is why I'm here today. I was accused by a sitting city council member of spreading vile lies.
I'll tell you something even more shocking, Wendy Pickering. There's the sitting mayor that's up there that's been accused of beating women. I think that's a little more serious than some city councilwoman calling you a liar. Why are you not advocating against that? Maybe you were the woman he was beating. I don't know.
Okay, here we go.
I was accused of being paid.
Hold on 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Hang on. Sir, please,
You talk about a man that's full of. There is no way I would vote for this POS. You talk about somebody that's full of themselves. Listen to the things he says. He thinks he is in complete control and that this is all his, and he determines what can be said, what can't, who can be there, who can't be there. That's not the way it works. This is a public city council meeting. Tony, that's not the way it works. You don't get to determine those things.
Are you going to remove my husband from this meeting?
I don't know who said that. I didn't even see it. I just asked the police officer.
He's full of shit. There's no way he didn't know. This is not some huge room.
Please, next
I'm just
time,
asking, are you going to do that right now?
If he interrupts it again, I will. But I don't
This
want
should
to.
not be allowed right now.
Okay, just
I agree.
okay.
It should
Can I
be
stop
allowed.
just? Can we stop just for a second? My
Yes, sir.
God, at what point is enough enough? I mean, when do you have legitimate concerns
Yes,
and
sir, I do.
legitimate questions? And I do understand that. I really do. Ginger, when your husband quits interrupting, he will be called on the carpet. It's a simple request. Do not speak from the audience. Come to the microphone. It's just that simple. I have had people removed before that did
I.
not know how to stop that. So that's simple. I mean, just courtesy. So
Yeah, it's also
anyway.
simple courtesy not to mock another city council member and call her counselor in a public meeting. And a lot of things that you do are not common courtesy.
I love the city councilwoman, by the way.
Okay, this is not about y'all, okay? This is about me.
Boom. There you go. That told me everything I needed to know. So thank you for clearing that up, Wendy. This is not about y'all. This is about me. That's all we needed to hear.
And about about you accusing me of spreading
Simple, I mean, just courtesy. So,
Yeah, it's also
Anyway.
simple courtesy not to mock another city council member and call her counselor in a public meeting. And a lot of things that you do are not common courtesy. So let's not point fingers.
Okay, this is not about y'all, okay? This is about me, okay? Sorry.
So first, Tony's trying to run the show. Now this woman who was appearing extremely nervous just to speak in front of people, she's trying to take over, and she's literally telling the mayor and a city council woman to shut up. Hey, this is not about y'all. This is about me. Wendy has a lot at stake here, or there's no way in hell she would be up doing all of this. Nobody can convince me otherwise. But I do appreciate her honesty finally. This is all about me. She didn't say this is about me. She said this is all about me. That tells you everything you need to know. Again, Wendy is somehow involved in all of this. Now, how? I don't know, honestly. I've heard different speculation from different people, but I don't really know. All I know is this is all about her.
Makes me not, it would make people, if they're going to be vilified like that from sitting city council members, they won't want to come up and speak.
yes, ma'am.
And I don't know, what is the recourse that I have with, do I need to get an attorney just because?
You do need an
someone-
attorney.
That's
Trust
just
me,
not
Wendy,
right
you
that
need an
she can
attorney.
Sit there and spread these type of rumors about me, and she has proof of it.
Yeah.
She says she has proof. Ginger, do you have proof?
Okay, let's,
No
You
comment.
better.
let's,
That means what this city councilwoman has been saying about Wendy, that Wendy is not sure if there's proof or not out there. Now, if it wasn't true at all, she would be very sure there's no proof. This means she's not sure if there's proof or not. What does that mean? That is true. This is not rocket science. But yeah, Wendy needs an attorney. She should have had one before she got up and decided to make this ignorant stance telling on herself.
You better.
I'm sorry, Wendy, let's do it again. I appreciate that.
I'm just, it really hurts me, and to me, it makes me not, it would make people, if they're going to be vilified like that from sitting city council members, they won't want to come up and speak.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know, what is the recourse that I?
She's, let me back it up a little more.
Counselor in a public meeting, and a lot of things that you do are not common courtesy. So let's not point
Okay,
fingers.
this is not about y'all, okay? This is about me, okay? Sorry.
You notice when Tony has been talking, Wendy has not tried to interrupt him at all. She's, yes, sir. When the city councilwoman is talking, she immediately interrupts her and tries to take over. That's pretty telling in itself.
And about you accusing me of spreading lies and accusing me of stalking 3 of the city council members. Okay, I don't want to get involved in a litigation over this. I'm trying to tell you that is harmful to my reputation, and I
Then don't do it.
don't
And
think
it's so
right.
harmful you posted a post about it.
Yes,
And
I
that's-
did.
That's probably enough there. Let's
Okay.
Now, Tony is taking up for Wendy. This is extra. Every one of you can see this. I mean, I'm just preaching to the choir. They don't even realize how open they're being about this. She used the word vilified. if they're going to be afraid to speak up if they're vilified like this. But she's accusing the councilwoman of lying about her. Those are two completely different things.
Yeah,
So- I'm just, it really hurts me, and to me, it makes me not, it would make people, if they're going to be vilified like that from sitting city council members, they won't want to come up and speak.
yes, ma'am.
Meanwhile, she's literally doing that. She's claiming she's been vilified by the city councilwoman, and she's up speaking, but she's at the same time, she's trying to make the claim that because of the councilwoman's actions, it would cause people not to get up and speak.
And I don't know, I mean, what is the recourse that I have with, I mean, do I need to get an attorney just because that's just not right that
It's just not right. She doesn't say, and that's not just this statement. Listen to it. She doesn't say it's not true. I'm being vilified, and it's just not right. Two completely different things. She probably truly does believe it's not right. She probably truly does believe she's being vilified. But she knows it's true.
she can sit there and spread these type of rumors about me. And she's had
Spread these type of rumors. Not spread these type of lies.
proof of it.
Yeah.
She says she has proof. Ginger, do you have proof?
Okay, let's,
No
You
comment.
better.
let's.
You better.
I'm sorry, Wendy, let's do it.
Wendy more than likely thinks she doesn't know if there's proof because part of her probably believes there's no way of proving it. And then part of her's like, it is true though. So maybe there is a way of proving it. We just don't know for sure.
Again, I appreciate that.
She wasn't on the stand there. And she's still talking. Does Tony treat her the same way he just did the councilwoman's husband? No. He says, I appreciate that. Right after he's acting like he's going to kick this councilwoman's husband out for doing the exact same thing. And his thing was, you have to be up at the stand to speak. You can't speak from the stands. But when this woman's still speaking from the stands, he says, I appreciate that. Not calling the police over to her.
I don't know what's happened in this community. I really don't. It seems like a three-ring circus,
And it is because of you.
and I didn't bring this circus to town.
You didn't?
It just seems that
Who
there's
did?
people that are trying to destroy us from within, constantly stirring up dissent, chaos, emotions.
Here's the thing. He acts like, and one thing, one of his words he loves is a cabal. I've heard him call this a cabal numerous times. This is the big part of the reason this is so big and blown up so much is literally because of one thing. Now there's other things involved, but only because of this one thing. Releasing body camera footage from an incident that Tony claims there's nothing on. If there was nothing on that, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. That's common sense. But he tries to play this like people are just running around making up all kinds of things about him. And this is one thing. Releasing that body camera footage that he has claimed numerous times there's nothing on. Does he truly think everyone is that stupid? I'm the cabal. What's the leader of the cabal called? Can y'all not hear the city council? If you're okay, I could have turned it up. I'm sorry. Tony learned a word and likes to use it. But this is one incident. Yeah, I can turn it up. I'm sorry. And it drives me insane how he continues to act like this is all kinds of things coming from every different direction. There is no way in hell they would be going through all of this if there was nothing on that body camera footage. No way.
I don't know what happened to the belief that you're innocent until proven guilty. Now, social media, you're guilty. And it's up to you to try to figure out a way to prove you.
Tony, according to you, there's no investigation. So what are you talking about, innocent until proven guilty? According to you, there was nothing to that night. There's nothing on the body camera footage. Therefore, there's no investigation whatsoever. And he's acting like this is eventually going to be tried in a court. Well, it is now because of CC Moreno, thankfully. But according to him, there's no investigation ongoing or anything.
And that's sad. But it's getting to the point now, it's brought of our employees have been brought into it. That's so unfair because they are the ones that actually make our lives better here. But for them to be drug into it is disgusting. We get up every morning, I get up and we come to work and we do our jobs. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We're not.
Is that what you were doing at 1 a.m. in the morning in a city-owned building completely butt naked? Was that part of your job? What's that job description?
Going to engage. I'm not going to engage any more of this stuff in the media, not that I ever did, nor in social media. I trust the Ethics Commission. I'm going to let them do their job, run its course, and then let the chips fall where they may. And I would ask that everybody else do the same. And let's just take care of the business of the city of Orange Beach and let everything else, let it go. Just let it happen as it should through the process. Let the process run its course. I just know from me, I have been the target, and I don't want to belabor this, but I do think that several things need to be corrected. I am not the target of the lawsuit about the body cams. The content of the body cam has zero to do with the lawsuit. The lawsuit is filed against the city of Orange Beach. It's essentially a binary.
Technically, I guess you could say that's the truth, but in reality, no, it's not. This is all about the body camera footage. That's why the lawsuit was brought. The lawsuit was brought because of that particular body camera footage that y'all refused to release no matter what. That is about you. We've also, or I've heard him claim that he wanted to release it, but the city council wouldn't let him. If you believe that, you need to go check yourself into a facility. I think there's a good chance she was the woman behind the door. That's speculation on my part, allegedly. I 100% am sure that Wendy believes there's something on the body camera footage that would be harmful to her. No doubt about that. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Now, whether that's the reason, I don't know. I think there's a decent chance in it, though.
Type of lawsuit. It's, and please correct me, Counselor, if I'm wrong. It is a body-worn body cam.
That's what a body camera is. It's worn on the body, Tony.
Either public record or it's not. It could be of anything, jaywalking, public intox, anything. That is the question, and that is the lawsuit. Unfortunately, people have deceived and tried to, by stirring the pot, make folks think it's about me on a certain body cam, and that is absolutely false.
My God, he's almost convincing me. Is that true? Is CC still on here? Is that true? Does this have really absolutely nothing to do with that? I mean, he's pretty convincing. He used the word absolutely a bunch of times. You got to watch those LY words. Now, some people use them, part of their daily vocabulary. So if it's one of those people and they're using LY words a lot, then that doesn't mean anything. You got to establish that baseline. I truly don't know. I've not heard him speak enough. So I'm not saying this is an indicator or not. But if you're not someone that uses the LY words a lot and then all of a sudden you start using a lot, those LY words will throw up a lot of red flags. So, okay. I mean, he was so convincing to me, CC, I just wanted to make sure. Because, I mean, it's absolutely false, he said. This tells you how easily that he can lie. Which goes back to remember what I said about basic human nature for most of us is it's very hard for us to lie unless you have certain mental illnesses. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not saying he has a mental illness. I'm saying there's a decent chance in it, though. Wouldn't surprise me because he does lie pretty easily. He knows what he is saying right now is complete bullshit. Every single thing he is saying right now is complete bullshit. This is 100% about that body camera footage. Again, this is all due to that. There have been other things brought now. But this all started because of that, because they refused to release that body camera footage that nothing's on. So listen to how well he lies through this. This is complete bullshit he's saying.
Tried to, by stirring anything, jaywalking, public intox, type of lawsuit. It's, and please correct me, Counselor, if I'm wrong. It is a body-worn body cam. Is either public record or it's not. It could be of anything, jaywalking, public intox, anything. That is the question, and that is the lawsuit. Unfortunately, people have deceived and tried to, by stirring the pot, make folks think it's about me on a certain body cam, and that is absolutely false.
Absolutely false.
The second lawsuit.
And you're absolutely full of shit, Tony.
Against me by a certain social media influencer / citizen journalist. Again, it's been put out that it is about the body cam. That's absolutely false again. I am being sued personally for blocking this person on Facebook. Now, I hope everybody heard that. The lawsuit is about my blocking that person on Facebook. Nothing to do with anything, the body cam footage. So I think
I did.
community, as much as it has been in the upheaval, needs to understand what the lawsuits are about and what they're trying to make you think they're about.
I'm going to fucking eat you up every day for the next 2 weeks, Tony, because of this bullshit statement. And I'm going to play this in slow motion and fast and rewind it. And the fact that he can just lie so freely like that while he's sitting up on that stage, supposed to be the leader of that city, is so, probably words I don't even need to say.
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
Because another thing I see them constantly saying, oh, this is a bunch of liberals out to get Republicans. I'm as a Republican as you fucking get. Trust me, no one has ever mistook me as a liberal, ever. This has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. I do use the word absolutely a lot, by the way.
And I'm the same guy that for 18 years, we had peace, prosperity. We worked together in calamity, prosperity, and me and the Council of Jar butted heads all the time, but we found a way to pull together for the good of the city. Same guy that 90% of you has got my cell phone. 90% of that 90% has called me and I've answered. I go to everything I possibly can attend and make myself accessible. I'm that same guy. I haven't changed. There's nothing changed in me.
I do believe that. The difference is, if it wasn't for that pesky, what do you call her, content creator, not lawyer. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be dealing with any of this. No, actually, Tony, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be.
Today that wasn't there the last 18 years. So I think if you have an issue and you think there's something going on, then you need to ask yourself what has changed, because it's not me. So tomorrow morning,
I believe that.
I will get up with my employees, our employees, and we'll go right back to work to run this city just like we always have, and hopefully make y'all proud of what we've accomplished. Because humbly, I say that the last 18 years, what's happened in Orange Beach is absolutely incredible for every single age demographic, from kindergarten to the most elder of our seniors. So I hate to see that being destroyed and in upheaval, and I don't understand it. And I wish I knew how to fix it, but I don't.
You do know how to fix it. Release the freaking body camera footage. Seriously. You don't know how to fix it? Now, it would probably require you resigning too, because for a lot of reasons. That's a simple fix. Orange Beach, Alabama right now, and I agree, it's a travesty because it is a beautiful city. I've visited it more times than I could ever count. I haven't in the past 2 years. We just go right next door to Perdido Key, specifically because I'm not going to give them any of my money right now. Because of Tony Keenan, Orange Beach, Alabama right now is literally the laughing stock of the country. This is all over everywhere. The naked mayor. I've seen that on a post from a guy from Pennsylvania. He doesn't know how to fix it. Release the body camera footage and resign.
So anybody else, you're welcome to speak.
Release the body cam and I'll fix it.
I forgot she said that. Honestly, I did. I think that was the city councilwoman. There you go. That's all you got to do.
Hunter Harrelson, 4855 Burkhart Drive.
Now, for context, this is the city councilwoman's husband. I'm almost positive. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but I believe this is her husband.
Tony Kennan, have you ever met with any private investigators to investigate my wife, Jeff Silvers, or Robert Stewart in the recent past month to 6 weeks?
I'm trying to decide whether I want to.
It's a simple yes or no question, Tony. Why not just answer the question? Remember what I said a while ago? A lot of times, instead of us just blatant lie, we just don't want to answer the question and we're going to dance around it. This is a very simple question. Very big indicator of something going on. Very big indicator of you need to dig further. There's probably deception when you ask someone a simple yes or no question and it takes them 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes to answer that. And 40 sentences. Simple yes or no question. He's asked. He could have just simply said, if it wasn't true, he could have just said no. And if it was not true, that's what he would have said.
Give you the time of day. Who the heck do you think you are walking up here talking to me like?
Who the heck do you think you are walking up here talking to me like that? He's obviously a citizen in your city that you're the mayor of, considering his wife is on the council. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I know who you think you are. Maybe Putin? You know, that runs Russia, that you're not allowed to talk like this about? Maybe Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea? That's who he's acting like. Who the heck do you think you are talking to me like that? This is a fucking citizen in your city. What do you mean, who is he talking to you like that? Who are you? You're not some supreme leader. Who voted for this asshole? Seriously, who voted for him?
Like that.
Have you or have you not?
I've never
yes
met
or
with.
no?
First
Have you or have you not?
It's a yes or no question. He even said it, yes or no.
At your house, met with.
I've never met with a private investigator ever.
Okay.
Ever. I tell you what, you prove it, please. Okay. Okay.
All you had to do is answer the question, Tony. And some of you may think he just did. He didn't. This is this simple. And this is hard for a lot of people to understand. I get that. But this is how simple it is. If you ask someone a yes or no question, and especially if you then follow up with yes or no, and their answer is anything other than yes or no, they literally did not answer your question. Does that make sense? And there's always a reason why they didn't answer your question. Always. 100% of the time. He never answered the question. Another thing. Let's go back to the original question from this guy that I want to be his friend.
You're welcome to speak.
Release the body cam and I'll fix it.
Hunter Harrelson, 4855 Burkhart Drive. Tony Kennan, have you ever met with any private investigators to investigate my wife, Jeff Silvers, or Robert Stewart in the recent past month to 6 weeks?
Have you ever met with any private investigators?
I'm trying to decide whether I want to give you the time of day. Who the heck do you think you are walking up here talking to me like that?
Have you or have you
I've
not?
never.
Talking to you like that. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but he asked you a question.
Never
Yes
met
or
with.
no?
First
Have
of-
you or have you not at your house met with
I've never met with a private investigator ever.
Have you ever met with any private investigators? I've never met with a private investigator ever. I would get on stand. I've been paid to do this in civil court numerous times. This is one, if I could get on stand in front of a federal jury and say, through my professional training and experience, Tony Keenan is more likely than not being very deceptive. And then I would go through all the reasons. Most of I already have. He didn't answer the question. He was asked about private investigators. He answers back with a private investigator, which means he's thinking of one investigator. That's the significance of him saying that. Why is he thinking of one private investigator? If he wasn't thinking of any private investigators, if this was not true at all, and he was trying to be honest at all, like I said, first he would have just said no. But here, he wouldn't have said, I've never met with a private investigator. He would have said, I've never met with any private investigators. I've never met private investigators. No, he is thinking of one, and that's why he uses the word investigator.
Okay.
Ever. I tell you what, you prove it, please, okay? Okay, but let's
You prove it, please. The way this guy talks to the citizens of his city makes me want to do things. Not to him. I'm not making a physical threat towards him. I only do things that are fully 100% legal.
let's please, can we stop? Quit making accusations. I mean, just
He didn't make an accusation. Literally, he did not. He asked you a question. The reason it's an accusation to you is because you know it's true. Again, I know most of you would pick up on all this without me analyzing it. This is not complicated at all.
pull the evidence. We got a microphone. We open it every week. If you got evidence, bring the evidence and quit playing games. Just bring the evidence of wrongdoing. That's all I ask.
All he asked was a yes or no question, and you couldn't answer it.
I would like to bring the evidence by releasing the body cam footage.
Let's stop this, please.
Evidence of what?
Can we just stop
Alabama
this?
cities
I have
voluntarily
lived in
release
this
body cam all the
community.
time.
I moved
Very true. That's another thing. They're all acting like Tony Keenan is acting like this. Wendy is acting like this. That she was implying that it's against the law to release it. That's not true, which I already said. Cities and counties all over this state release body camera footage all the time. All the time. They're acting like it has never happened and they would be the first to do it. That's not even close to true. That's another. So somebody just said guilt is written all over his voice, and that is very true. Tone and inflection are worth more than words in communication. Body language, number one, then tone and inflection. The word usage, as far as communication, only accounts for 10% of communication. So, since somebody mentioned that, let's listen to his tone and listen how high his tone gets. Big red flag.
Ever
Yes
met
or
with-
no?
First
Have
of-
you or have you not at your house met with?
I've never met with a private investigator ever.
Okay.
Ever. I tell you what, you prove it, please, okay? Okay, but let's please, can we stop? Quit making accusations. I mean, just pull the evidence. We got a microphone. We open it every week. If you got evidence, bring the evidence and quit playing games. Just bring the evidence of wrongdoing. That's all I ask.
I would like to bring the evidence by releasing the body cam footage.
Let's stop this, please.
Evidence of what?
Can we just stop
Alabama
this?
cities
you.
I have
voluntarily.
Evidence of what?
lived in
release
this
body cam all the
community. I moved
Go
here
ahead,
from
please.
Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's a very good
Baton,
point.
4838 Bay Circle. I've lived here for 20 years, moved here from Baton Rouge, and I started coming to city council meetings back when. And I can't begin to tell you how impressed I always was, how coherent the council was, how things happen in this city. We just get things done. It's been so impressive. And then all of a sudden, it's not like that anymore. I'm not saying we're not getting things done. The atmosphere, this black cloud that this person is trying to cast on this community, I'm ashamed of it. I mean, it's going out all over the United States.
No, you are 100% correct. It is deflecting. What are you at your house? Did I miss that too? We'll go back after we get
Because people all over the United States own condos in this building, and they pay attention to what's happening in Orange Beach and what's being said and what's being done.
Now, this woman is just, oh, let me fix it where y'all can see her. I'm sorry. This woman is just a citizen that doesn't like seeing all this, whatever. No, and she's not, as far as I know, a private investigator. Notice how she's not nervous at all. She's not nervous at all. So again, why was Wendy so nervous?
Is just not the way our little community is. I think the majority of the people in this room feel like I do, and the majority of the people that live in this city are very pleased. We have amenities in this city that no small.
So you can tell this woman legit, she believes in what she's saying. Now, whether she's correct or not, that's different, but she fully believes in what she's saying, and she's passionate about it.
City has. Everybody wanted, there's so many condos, we need a resident beach. We have a fabulous resident beach. We get passes to go to all the state parks where we can park for free. I mean, there's so many, our rec center is unbelievable. The schools are fabulous. Everything is going along so well, and social media is becoming, I mean, I've said for years, social media is going to be the downfall of our country. And I didn't think it was going to happen here in our little bubble.
Now, this is where I 100% disagree with her. And most of you have heard my stance on this. There are bad things about social media for sure. There are more good things about social media. For instance, people like myself and CC Dixon Moreno can actually speak the truth. We're not owned by anybody. There's no big companies paying me to say what they want me to say. So I can just get up and speak the truth and tell you exactly how I feel and report things at just the facts. No mainstream media can do that. And they've never been able to. Ask anyone that will be honest that's ever worked in mainstream media. Ask them. They will be honest. They will tell you. They didn't get to determine what stories they covered and what facts they put out. That's not the way it worked. It was a huge brainwashing is what it's been in our country for years by the media. Because we've been lied to. Now we know how many things we've been lied to that we still would not know if not for social media and podcasters. Literally. It pisses me off when I see someone act like we're the ones bringing the country down. No, we're just bringing attention to the truth, something that's never happened before. I mean, I could go on literally for weeks talking about all the things we've been lied to and brainwashed into thinking and believing over the years from mainstream media, before social media, before podcasters. That's as true as it gets. So people like Tony Keenan, yeah, he's not going to like social media. He's not going to like podcasters. He's not going to like true investigative journalists. He wishes it was back the old way. You know, back when we didn't know that our CIA was behind taking out JFK and Martin Luther King Jr. You remember those days when everybody lied? The entire government's lied to us for years on the very serious things. But we have people that would rather go back to that. Give me a break.
But it's happening, and I think it needs to come to a stop. This arguing in a city council meeting is just not the way things should be done. And I just want to say,
I disagree with her there. That's probably what should happen in most city council meetings. There should be open public discussions. Now, yeah, there's professional ways to do it, but there's going to be a lot of debating, arguing, whatever word you want to use there.
that I wish it would go back to like it was. I was impressed with y'all going through all the motions
Shocking an old white woman says that. It's not as bad as an old white guy, but
and everything. You all seem to be totally on top of all of these resolutions and what's behind them, where you can just flow through them, that part. But then when we get to this and what's going on social media is just not indicative of what this community is.
I would like to say I agree with everything you said, and I think most of us here do.
of course you do.
How naive
Mr.
I was
Comedian.
to think that I could come and help the city.
Remember, impossible for me to ever take this guy seriously, considering he was naked in a bathtub with another grown man in a farting contest. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I literally did not make any of that up. Go to CC Dixon Moreno's profile on Facebook and you can see it. That happened. So I wish I could say that's the worst thing I've seen him do. However, it's not. The worst thing I've seen him do is sitting on a couch, pulling his shirt up, putting probably what was peanut butter on his nipples, and letting a dog lick it off of him. That happened too. Remember those things before you ever take anything this idiot says for serious.
I love, and this going on, it's embarrassing.
And so
That's embarrassing.
Jack,
To
who
a
wants
lot
to?
of us, but and now, should I say anything now? Because if I don't say anything, I'll be bashed tomorrow on Facebook for not
And if
saying
you do, you're
anything.
going to be bashed for what you say.
If I'm saying something now, I got an ethic complaint against me.
You could just do the right thing and say the things you should say and not say. Pretty simple. Do the right thing. That's all you got to do.
Because I didn't sign one against someone else. And then therefore I hate women.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. It's got to stop.
We know you definitely like chubbier white guys and puppies. I don't know about women.
And if it
And I think it will stop. This is the best community anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
I love it with all my heart, and that's the reason why I'm hoping to make a difference. I think most of them up here feel the same way, and it will straighten out. I really believe it will
I hope
calm
so.
down. But we have to, just ignore some of that other stuff on social media. People just trying to, make a little money, I guess.
Yeah.
What is it that you're doing on social media, dude? If you're not doing that to try to make money, I have even more questions for you. Not the way I would try to make money, but of all people to say that, you?
It is sad. You're right.
It's sad. It's very sad.
But it's going to get better. It'll get
Good.
better.
I believe it. I believe it.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's not going to get better when you have that many old white guys on the city council and the mayor.
Williams Oak. I'm relatively new down here. I know we got football fans in the house, right? Everybody like football? Everybody here? Okay. It's easy to be a Monday morning quarterback. And I can tell you from somebody who came from a place that slid off the cliff, we've gotten lucky in Orange Beach that we got through the hurricane, deep water.
So this guy's, I don't know where he came from. I can't remember if he says it in the future, but he just admitted where he left slid off. It was lost. I don't know that we should be listening to him then.
Horizon. There's a lot of things that
Nothing
happen.
personal against the guy. I don't
A lot
know.
of people, including everybody in this room, has made money on Orange Beach and the success of Orange Beach. We could have easily slid off the cliff and turned into Panama City Beach, or one of the other beach towns that have turned to shit.
Maybe that's where he came from.
Excuse my French. So be thankful we have leadership. It's very hard to say, okay, put it aside. But it's also hard to look at what's happened up to this point that's got us to this point. He's done a decent job. It's easy to Monday morning quarterback say he could have done better.
A decent job?
But the truth is, a decent job. The truth is, the town made it to where it is now by the leadership of its committee, former and future. It's going to stay a committee. But where we are today,
Again, I could not care less about what good he has done for the city. That's irrelevant to me. The fact that I know he is abusive to women, amongst other things he is, no amount of good makes up for that. This is deflecting of, we don't care that he beats his wife or beats his girlfriend and his wife that he has on the side. We don't care. We care about what's making us money. And that's what this guy's saying. So let's shut up about that. Let's be quiet about that. He's done a decent job here.
and the bickering and nonsense that's going on, and personal vendettas, and I won't say her name because I don't want to get sued. It doesn't look good across the board.
I do kind of want to be a little petty about the guy.
For any of us, whether you're a former real estate guy or former real
Is he pregnant, y'all think?
estate guy or a comedian over at Floribama, it doesn't look good on a national scale because people are looking at this nonsense, this vermin that comes off of Facebook and TikTok. And believe it or not, there's somebody on the other end of that that's making money hand over fist, and they're laughing their way all the way to the bank. And it's absolutely evil.
I wish that were me.
It's going to kill an entire group of people who want to come here and go, I don't want to go to Orange Beach. Look at what that's a clown show over there. So I know.
At least they all know it's a clown show, too. Tony called it that. Pregnant guy called it that.
Better than try to talk sense in anything. We are in America. We are innocent till proven guilty. Thank God we have that on our side. As now you come from the other side, and you're in the military, you're guilty till proven innocent. We're on the other side of that coin. We're just citizens. As citizens, we should keep an open mind, let the process run its course. If Tony did something wrong, it'll come out to light. If Jack did something wrong, it would come out to light. If Robert, not.
And all those things have. That's the problem. They've all came to light. Why? Because of that Facebook TikToker truth teller that he's talking about.
I know most of you guys, outside here, small town, it's kind of Mayberry-ish. We run into each other. If somebody did something wrong, it's going to come out. But this whole dramatizing, it's not good. It's not good for kids. I feel bad for the mayor's kids. I mean, think about how you would feel, Pat, if you were sitting in that spot, or Robert, if you were sitting. I mean, these are just kids. They're 20 teens.
They're just kids, 20s. This guy, some of these people. This is a comedy show. That's what it
They
is.
shouldn't have to face this. They got enough shit going on in their own house. It needs to stop. So, have a problem behind closed doors. It doesn't need to be aired.
Nobody. These are elected officials. So, no, it's not supposed to be done behind closed doors. Must be a big misunderstanding there in Orange Beach about that. But no, it's not supposed to be done behind closed doors.
That's the only thing and I know it's not out here, but it has to be said. Because I think there's more people out here that are looking going, we don't need this. We just want to live here and be happy. We live in our little bubble. Let's keep it our little bubble. I love Mayberry. That's why I moved here. Come on vacation, fell in love with it. Went past the nativity scene, and I went, wow, we have a nativity scene. Or they have at that time a nativity scene. And I said, where could they get away with that? You go north, Maryland, Virginia, Virginia's gone. It's just black hole. New Jersey, New York, you can't have that, but we have it here. We have it here because you guys got past the bickering and kept it solid.
Hey, we have a nativity scene, so it doesn't matter what all our mayor is doing. I don't care that he beats women. Who cares?
Keep it solid. That's all I got to say, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
So as far as I'm concerned, so everything that's transpired here for the last 19 years was because of a mayor and a council, right? Up until the last council and today. And that's the way it's going to be today, right? But
Yeah, and you're exact. I agree with you. Whoever said that you feel bad about for his kids too. I do too. I mean, I do feel bad for his kids because they don't get to choose their parents. However, that's 100% his fault, not ours. He's the one that decided to be a piece of shit.
I know that, when I signed up for this, I signed up for pirate shows and traffic and density problems and all that. I had no idea what was going to be on the horizon. But at the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror and do what you think is right. And I regret nothing, right? I take that back. I regret
He's a lot better man than me if he has nothing to regret.
the last meeting where things kind of got out of hand, right? But I made some promises to some people that I was going to try to be better. And I think I did that to one of the ladies in the crowd. And, sometimes you just have to go through what you have to go through to get to the other side. And I know none of us want this to be disorganized or combative or any of that. In this meeting today, I thought things were just going fine. And because that's what we signed up to do, and that's what we're going to do.
It was going pretty smooth until Tony's girlfriend decided to get up and speak.
But
am I going to get sued again for calling somebody a girlfriend? That was my last lawsuit.
And really, there was something else I was going to say, but I think I'm just going to hold that to myself now. But we appreciate y'all. We do, right? We, we do take this job very serious, and we try to be as informed as we can on everything that's thrown into our lap, whether we wanted it in our lap or not. So just remember that we are public servants doing what public servants should do. And um, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Anyone else? We've always opened the mic up for many, 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 many years. And I think I've had close to either 49 or 50 town hall meetings in that.
Sorry, that is as loud as I can turn it up. Gloria.
Period, including all that was during the oil spill. And we have always tried to let people say their piece. And everybody involved in Mobile County says that Orange Beach is just different from everybody else because everybody gets to say their piece. And we try to keep it civil. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, and I get that. But at the same time, I have a hard time muzzling people when they live here and they have a right to address us, even if we don't want to hear it, if we don't like it. But they have a right to say and speak out. Now, it needs to be civil and not personal, but it's really hard for me to say, no, we're not going to talk about that. I just, even if I'm the one getting beat up or somebody.
He's acting like he's doing a service by allowing people to talk. You don't get to determine who talks and who doesn't in your open city council meetings, dude. You need to listen to the other city councilman that just spoke that said, we need to remember we are public servants, not a supreme leader. He's acting like I've been so good. I've done such a good thing because I allow people to talk in here. You don't have a choice, or you'd be in more lawsuits than you already are. On that note, and I don't know all the details of the lawsuits. CC is going to be on my podcast, and it's my fault I haven't set it up yet, but I don't know all the details of those. So I don't know all the details of this, what he's talking about, that he blocked somebody on social media. But let me explain this to you because I've had to explain this to a lot of small cities and mayors and law enforcement agencies in smaller places because they didn't understand this. And I get it, but ignorance of the law is no excuse. If you are a government entity, such as the city of Orange Beach, and you have a social media page, you are not allowed to limit comments. You are not allowed to block people. You are not allowed to turn comments off. That is a violation of free speech. Many places and people have been sued over that and lost. You are not allowed to. So you have to be very careful. So if you run a government entity's social media profile, you need to understand that. And it's very serious. Now, I don't know what he blocked somebody from, if it was from his official mayor page or something. If it was, then he violated their civil rights. He violated the Constitution. Simple as that. A lot of people don't understand that.
Else, it doesn't matter. So please bear with us. It may look ugly, but believe me, there's so many other communities that wish they could have the mic to speak and speak their mind to their elected officials, but they don't get that opportunity. So unfortunately, I think that's one of the reasons Facebook has become such a burden for all of us is if we don't start speaking here where we see each other eyeball to eyeball, then we're having to deal with those speaking from a keyboard that have no accountability or responsibility. It's much harder to stand there and say something ugly than it is from a keyboard of Facebook.
Not for most of us. I speak from here just because I can reach a lot more people at once.
So I hope you understand why I think it's important that we open it up to a degree. And you know, it's like a pop-off valve on a hot water heater. Sometimes you just got to let it out. So I hope everybody understands that. But thank y'all. I appreciate everyone being here. And I guess I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. No,
So
we
moved.
entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Somebody caught my joke. So he did block CC from his mayoral Facebook account. Yeah, he violated her civil rights. That's a no-brainer. And again, I've had to explain that to so many, and like, if you agree, nobody is forced into public office in this country. Nobody. You volunteered. With that becomes a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of responsibility. You don't get to just play dumb when you don't play by the rules. You're no longer a private person. That's part of politics. That's why a lot of people don't get in politics. Your life is no longer private. Whether it should be that way or shouldn't, the fact is it is. You don't get to act like bad things you do should be fully private, but all the good things shouldn't. You don't get to do that. That's what Tony Keenan wants to do. And Carla, I think, got my joke. Are you referring to the man with the wife on the side? That's one of my favorite quotes from a movie. Guy says, he's getting robbed. He's like, please don't take me out. I've got a girlfriend. I got a wife on the side. Some of you know what movie I'm talking about. I will put most of the video will be on my podcast that I do about it, and I can increase the volume a lot on that when I put it in my editing software. I just hadn't had a chance to do that with this one yet, so I apologize. No, he does think of himself as a king. He thinks he runs everything. He's above everybody. I can't stand one thing, and if you know me, you know this about, I cannot stand for somebody to talk down to people. I cannot stand to see a grown person talk to another grown person that talk down to them. I can't stand that. The way he talked to the councilwoman's husband, man, there's certain people, Tony, that's going to get you. Mr. Shortman. the term civil servant should make it clear. It should. But trust me, there's a lot of people that doesn't understand that. Then I've had them argue with me after I've told them that. No, that can't be true. Look, don't argue with me about it. I'm just telling you I'm one of those pesky people that actually like our Constitution. And I try to honor it the best I possibly can. And I don't like people that go against it, especially when government officials do. So just one of those pet peeves of mine. Yeah, he'll meet the right person that day. One day, he better not say that in front of Pastor Tony Spell. That's he's asked that punk that he beat how that went. He'd argue with Merriam-Webster. He's not. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times. It is crazy to me. Almost every corrupt person that I cover, and it was the same way when I was investigating them in real life. They are all so alike. It's scary. They have the same personalities. They're highly narcissistic. I don't know if that's the scientific term, highly narcissistic, but they are. They are so full of themselves, and they only care about themselves. They don't care about anyone else. I mean, they are all just alike. They all use the same phrases. They all have the same excuses. And one thing you'll notice about all of them, they're all perfect. Admitting wrongdoing, you'll never hear it from them. That's a red flag in itself. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We've all made big mistakes. Like I said a while ago, that guy, which I know he was talking about on the council, but I was just making a joke, but where he said, I don't regret anything. If you meet someone that says I don't regret anything, they're full of shit. If they're a grown man or grown woman. We've all done things we're not proud of. We've all done things we regret. We're all far from perfect. Now, beating a woman, that's not a mistake. Let me repeat that. That is not a mistake. Very big difference. We need to call Dana White and get a UFC fight set up between Tony Keenan and Pastor Tony Spell. They'll make a lot of money. Yeah, Ginger said she'd like to bring the evidence by releasing the body cam footage in response to Tony saying for them to show evidence that he's met with a PI. Is she hinting that Wendy is on the footage? I think, I mean, I can't be sure that that's what she was hinting at, but I'm 100% sure, as I said, Wendy believes there is something on there that would be harmful to her. The city councilwoman probably knows more than we do. I would think. She was very confident in what she was saying. Also, her husband was very confident in asking that question. Now, his confidence doesn't mean that it has to be 100% true, but I can promise you her husband fully believes it's true. Now, does he fully believe it's true because he's seen factual evidence? I don't know. But he fully believes it's true, and the councilwoman fully believes it's true as well. There's literally no way else to explain Wendy getting up and making these crazy statements in that meeting. She is grasping at straws. I mean, it is past fourth quarter for her in this. That's why she's being extremely desperate right now. There's something. And again, as I've said from the beginning, and a lot of people have said, there is something on there. And for Tony to tell us there's nothing, he couldn't. That's typical of people like him that I was just talking about. They think they're the smartest and the most intelligent in the room, of every room they're in, and they think the rest of us are just dumb. Because if he thinks that anyone truly believes that, he thinks you're just dumb. Will all of this force his resignation? I don't see it ending any other way. Well, yeah, I know Wendy is a PI. Yeah, that's a possibility, Joe, too, that she has seen the video so she knows what it shows. But again, for her, I mean, it's just common sense for her to get up there and literally say, I request body camera footage all the time. That's her words, not mine, in my job. And then the very next sentence to say it would be detrimental for the city to start releasing body camera footage. That should never happen. It's common sense. You can't have it both ways, Wendy. She's not some advocate out worried about body camera footage getting released. She is specifically worried about this body camera, the same body camera footage that Tony Keenan literally said in the same meeting that it absolutely has nothing to do with that body camera footage, which is the biggest joke of all. Wendy was the one spreading lies that CC was committing election interference and was a paid political actor. She got that idea from, I'll let you guess. I've been accused of being a paid political actor. I'll be honest, I don't know that I'd turn it down. I don't know, depending on how much money it is. If a politician wants to pay me a bunch of money, if they want to pay me, I don't know, $500,000 to say good things about them, I'll do it, even if I don't like them. No, I've been accused of the same thing. Again, I wish people paid me. They don't. If I'm speaking up for a politician, it's just because I truly believe in them. If I'm speaking against them, it's because I truly don't believe in them. I've never, ever been paid by a politician or their campaign or nobody in reference to that. I was accused of that a lot with, which one? Jared Hudson. People kept accusing me that I was getting paid by his campaign. Again, I wish. Yes, the movie is next Friday. You win the award for tonight. So somebody said something about at your house. I'm gonna have to go back. I want either the city councilwoman or her husband on my podcast. That would make my day.
Who said that? I didn't even see it. I just asked the police officer to please, next
I'm just
time,
asking, are you going to do
if
that
he,
right now?
if he interrupts it again, I will. But I don't want
This
to.
should not be allowed right now.
Okay, just,
I agree.
okay,
It should
can I
be
stop
allowed.
just, can we stop just for a second? My
Yes, sir.
God. At what point is enough enough? I mean,
Courtesy not to mock another.
Yes,
and
I
that's,
did.
that's probably,
Okay.
that's probably enough there.
Okay,
yeah,
so- I'm just, it really hurts me. And to me, it makes me not, it would make people, if they're going to be vilified like that from sitting city council members, they won't want to come up and speak.
yes, ma'am.
And I don't know, what is the recourse that I have with, do I need to get an attorney just because
Well,
that's just not right that she can sit there and spread these type of rumors about me. And she has proof of it.
Yeah.
She says she has proof. Ginger, do you have proof?
Okay, let's,
No
You
comment.
better.
let's.
You
yeah,
better.
I'm sorry, Wendy, let's do it, again. I appreciate that. I don't know what,
Where am I missing this at your house? Oh, y'all talking about the city council. Okay. That's what it is. She asked him at your house. Yeah, that's pretty specific. That means they know something. Yeah, good call. I didn't even catch that, but yep,
hold on,
Okay.
hold on one second.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
Sir, please,
That means that
Are you going to remove my husband from this meeting?
they're aware of a specific location that this
said
happened.
I didn't even see it. I just asked the police officer to please, next
I'm just
time,
asking, are you going to do that right now?
If he interrupts it again, I will. But I don't want
This
to.
should not be allowed right now.
Okay, just,
I agree.
okay,
It should
can I
be
stop
allowed.
just, can we stop just for a second? My
Yes, sir.
God.
If you allow one person because they want subscribers and stuff and they're just wanting to get some views, if you allow that, you allow this people to just have their own agendas to get this footage, then when does it stop? And then you open us up for lawsuits when you allow.
I know why I'm missing it. It was when he was up there talking. Sorry.
Jeff Silvers or Robert Stewart in the recent past month to
And I don't understand it, and I wish I knew how to fix it, but I don't. So, anybody else, you're welcome to speak.
Release the body cam and I'll fix it.
Hunter Harrelson, 4855 Burkhart Drive. Tony Kennan, have you ever met with any private investigators to investigate my wife, Jeff Silvers, or Robert Stewart in the recent past month to 6 weeks?
I'm trying to decide whether,
So I didn't even catch that either in the beginning, the first couple times. They're talking about a specific time frame. And as y'all pointed out, a specific location. So they know this happened. There's no doubt in my mind.
I want to give you the time of day. Who the heck do you think you are walking up here talking to me like that?
Have you or have you
I've
not?
never
Yes
met
or
with-
no?
First
Have
off,
you or have you not at your house met with?
There you
I've
go.
never met with a private investigator ever,
Okay.
ever. I tell you what, you prove it, please. Okay, okay. But let's please. Can we stop?
Yeah, I heard her say that, but it didn't. I didn't take into account the significance of it till y'all pointed that out. So I appreciate that. Again, look at that. I'm not perfect. I miss things. So I just saw y'all were. I was trying to look for it instead of reading y'all's comments, and y'all were telling me the whole time. The city councilwoman is an attorney as well. Yeah, they and like I said, I knew he was extremely confident when he asked the question. And now that going back and looking at, they're talking about a specific time frame and a specific location. And then again, Tony was obviously thinking about a private investigator, a specific private investigator. So I said that. So, but we know how. I mean, right after that is when Tony Keenan goes into this, just lies flow so good for him. And this has absolutely nothing to do with the body camera footage that I was on. Like, that's a complete lie. Everybody knows that. We know how freely that flows out of his mouth. Yeah, I picked up on the us when she says us, opens us up for lawsuits. She says the city, then she says us, and then either you or me. She changes pronouns a couple of times, talking about the same thing, and that's red flags. In a normal, non-deceptive conversation, especially written words, it is not normal for someone to change pronouns when they're talking about the same thing. And when they do, when you see those changing pronouns, that's a very good indicator of you need to look deeper. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know Ginger was an attorney. Yeah, Tony's going up against two very intelligent women, and he's not used to that. He's used to everybody bows down to him, and especially the females, because we know what he does to them. And the fact that now he has two extremely intelligent females that are way smarter than him taking him down, he cannot stand that. Yeah, now that drives me insane every time I hear it. When, who the heck do you think you are talking to me like that? Yeah, I need to go back and watch the previous council meeting. A couple of people sent it to me, and I never had never got a chance to watch it, but I need to go back and watch it. Brent Bill, is that are you CC's husband? I know her husband's name's Brent. I think, is that you? been a hell of a year. I let my lawyer handle the talking. I just do the background work. See, that's where my house is messed up. Are you talking about last week's was explosive? Or are you talking about the one in May? No, he can't stand successful, smart, successful females. All men like him, that they're all the same. Again, they're all the same. They can, and you can tell that. You can tell that in a business setting. You can tell that in a professional setting. I can always pick them out. The ones that either and somehow abuse their spouse, whether it be mental, physical and mental, financial, whatever. I can always pick them out because they just treat females differently. They look at them differently. The things they say to them, they act completely differently. You can always tell. They're all the same. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on here. Yeah, please, yeah, send that to me. I appreciate that. I'm going to be watching them all from now on because Tony's wife is an attorney. Is she a practicing attorney? Because I didn't get that feeling from her in their interview with 1819 News, which makes sense because she is obviously fully controlled by him. Oh, she does real estate. Oh, close. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty different. Yeah. She does real estate closings. I'll let you figure out why that is useful. Yeah, I can imagine. There's no, the money side is one of my, I love that side. Love digging into the finances, and that was investigating money laundering cases was one of my favorite things to do in my previous life. I loved it. And we're digging into a lot of that with the cult that we're investigating up in Hamilton, Alabama. And there is so much money missing there, and there's been so much money laundered through there. I bet if you really dug into Tony Keenan's and his family's finances, you could probably find some stuff going on there. Of course, that's just me speculating. I don't know that for a fact, but I would be very interested in it. Like, I'd be very interested in what they own. Is he one of those politicians that has made a lot of money since being in office as a small town city mayor? I have not seen that. But I need to look at that because I'm sure I will find it very interesting. But I don't see this ending in any other way than Tony being forced to resign. I mean, depending on how far this goes and what all that opens up, there's a chance he ends up in prison. I mean, there is. Because I'm telling you, I about guarantee you, again, completely speculating on my part, but it would not surprise me if there's financial stuff going on there that could land him in federal prison. And I investigated a small town mayor. This is a much smaller town than Orange Beach one time. That exactly what you just said, rezoning a property right before he buys it. I had one time randomly buy a random piece of land, and it threw up red flags because he was the mayor of this small town, and less than 6 months after he just bought this random piece of property, a very big box store came in and purchased the property from him. And yeah, that didn't work out well for him. So I know that stuff happens. And yeah, the coastal deal with the Floribama owners, the Pirates Voyage deal was a wholesale deal. Tony couldn't get across the finish line for them. I have seen the before and after pictures of him. I saw that today earlier. Yes, pretty big drastic difference in Tony. I think I've seen this film before. Yep. Interesting reverse 1031 exchanges where his wife is the qualified intermediary. And wow. Yeah. And so there's a lot of that stuff in the ethics complaint. See, I didn't realize that. That's yeah, I'm gonna dig into that. That's not surprising though. Yeah, that stuff there's definitely there's a chance they both end up in federal prison, or at least state prison. What is his salary? Is I truly have not looked a lot into this. I wish I had looked into it more than I have at this point, but he's a full-time mayor, right? Do y'all know what his salary is? I mean, I'm sure y'all do. I just haven't looked or anything. Oh, that's it? 85,000? I would have thought it'd been more than that. Yeah, so I mean, he ain't buying now. Again, of course, yes, his wife could make a lot more money, but him himself, he ain't getting rich at all on that salary. Barely get by there on that salary. I mean, I'm shocked that it's not more than that. His SEI filings have all been edited well after the fact because he didn't disclose like 6 LLCs. How many LLCs does he have? Wow. So he has a lot more to lose than just being the mayor. That's one reason he's fighting all this so much. It was 42,000 till 2020? And he's a full-time mayor? It's a full-time job? That's crazy. Why would you even be a mayor of? I mean, there's got to be more in it for you to even want to be the mayor of a city that size with everything they have going on, especially for 42,000. That's mind-boggling to me. I wouldn't even do it for 85,000. So that tells me a lot, and that's why I have a problem with those positions paying that low, because when you're paying that low of salary to a position like that, you're literally begging people to. The only people that's going to want that position are the ones that's going to be in it for other reasons. I mean, I've seen that with some of the sheriffs in this state that have gone to federal prison. They were making like $65,000, $70,000 a year, and it's way too much of it. It's way too stressful of a position for no money, and it opens them up to corruption. I mean, it just does. Are those supposed to be part of the perks, though? He said, I mean, you get a waterfront city office to use as your weekend getaway. That's a perk. You can use city boats to take your family out on the water. You get free Uber rides to take your drunk ass home. Now, I would rather him Uber than drive drunk. However, not supposed to do that on the city's dime, that's for sure. I mean, I guess it depends on how you live. I was making a lot more than that I was making a lot more than that in 2015. And I don't know that I would have been able to afford to live in on the beach there. No, I knew what I was talking about, the police car. I mean, I put that together. He did get out of the DV charge. No, I put that together when you said that. I mean, that was where my mind went anyway. I know I had a couple of Orange Beach police officers in one of my classes one time, and we all went and ate lunch together. And I was curious about what they made because I figured it was pretty good. And I don't remember what they said. I just remember saying out loud, I was like, man, I would have thought y'all made more than that. And it was not a lot. Now that was before 2020. That was, I don't know, 2016, 17, maybe 18 or something. They want specific people in their town and their school. Who does that sound like? Another supreme leader from our world history? I bet they look a lot like Tony does, don't they? I mean, no, I understand it's not a huge city, but their tax revenue's got to be high. I mean, with all those condos and beachfront properties and stuff, that city's got to be bringing in a bunch of tax dollars. Like definitely a lot more than any other city that size in this state. I mean, the police force is funded by the city, so their entire budget would come from the city's budget. So it's up to the city council and mayor as to what each department's budget is. And the police department's that's what it is. It's a department within the city. So you got like the street department, the police department, and all these other departments. For instance, when we had to move to North Alabama for my wife's job, and I left a large agency and was making I was making a pretty good living when I went to work at Muscle Shoals, it's a small city, but it's a wealthy city. There's just a lot of wealthy people. There's a lot of $1 million homes in Muscle Shoals for whatever reason. I don't know why, but there is a very wealthy city. And just the tax revenue that city brings in is a lot. And their police department is one of the best. It's the best in North Alabama for sure. Their budget they have a really good budget as far as the police department. I mean, we had the best of the best equipment and all that stuff versus any of the other agencies around there. Like, it's not even a close race. And it's I mean, I would bet it's probably close to the same size as Orange Beach as far as population. And I'm sure Orange Beaches is probably 4 times the tax revenue as Muscle Shoals. So I just looked in 2023. Muscle Shoals' estimated population was around 17,000. So maybe it is a little bigger as far as population than Orange Beach, but still, I'm sure Orange Beach brings in. It's still a wealthier city. It's got to be. Yeah, as far as permanent population, it is smaller than I realized. So yeah, numbers I'm seeing are around between 9 and 10,000 too. They do have a solid law enforcement agency as far as size, manpower, equipment, and things like that for a city that size. That's for sure, which is a good thing. I didn't know all the property deals he and his wife were involved in until CC blew the roof off. Over 100 million a year. Yeah, and the 9 to 10,000 permanent resident, that's a little deceiving because, or misleading, deceiving, whatever you want to call it, because if you did an average of summer residents, then you're probably, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000. If you average the summer residents out for the whole year. And that's just a guess on my part. I don't know. See, that's crazy that the Orange Beach is only making, that the officers now, they're only making low 50s. That's crazy. They should be making, hell, they should be making 70 at least. Brooke, you hit the nail on the head. You think if Tony cared about his community, he had just stepped down. Dude riding this thing out to a jail cell. You're exactly right. And that's exactly what I see in all these people like this. We saw the same thing with Walker County, Alabama Sheriff Nick Smith. The world was exploding around him. Over 30% of his entire agency had been federally indicted. He himself and his chief deputy had been indicted by the state, and he refused to step down. I mean, they will do anything to keep that power no matter what, because there's more involved in it than just that. And that's the same thing with Nick Smith. Nick Smith was getting a lot more out of that than just being a sheriff making, I don't know, I think he made like $90,000 a year. But there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. And that's the same thing here. But yeah, if Tony truly cared about that city, he would step down right now, because, again, nobody would be talking about him anymore right now. That would quiet everything down for now. But just him, and that's whether he's right or wrong, that's the right thing to do. And that's the same thing I said about Nick Smith. Dude, now he was involved, but say Nick Smith wasn't involved in the corruption. If 30% of your entire agency is corrupt, that's piss poor leadership. If you didn't know, that's piss poor leadership. If you did, it's piss poor leadership. Either way, you're a horrible leader. You need to step down. Tony Keenan right now is, again, Orange Beach, Alabama is being talked about all over the country right now, and people are laughing at it. Again, like I said, I saw a post the other day. Somebody screenshotted it from me. A guy was from Pennsylvania, and he was talking about the naked mayor. Hey, have y'all seen the naked mayor story in Orange Beach, Alabama? And the entire country is laughing at the city right now, and it's all because of him. And we saw in the meeting tonight, did he take any responsibility for that? No. He literally said, none of this is my fault. That's what he said. I didn't bring this circus to town. I've done an amazing job over 18 years. I mean, look at all I've done. Look at everything I've done. I'm perfect. This city wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me. I mean, that's the kind of stuff he was saying. Not word for word, but that's what he was implying. But yeah, and Brent's exactly right. Narcissists like Tony is not backing down. Well, I didn't know this. Why were there police officers that were on the scene the night of the DV that got promotions? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Responding to a 911 call where the caller states, I saw a man punching a woman, hitting a woman. She was screaming, and he was screaming, what was he saying? You're not getting away from me, or you'll never get away from me, something like that. And then you respond as an officer, and you never lay eyes on the female, you should be fired. There's no excuse for that. And you can't tell me if it was anyone else. I guarantee you they would have made damn sure they found the female and laid eyes on her before they left. They would have refused to leave until they did. I'm still wondering, is it true they didn't lay eyes on her? Does anyone know that for sure? I mean, maybe you do. Do we know for 100% fact that they didn't see a female there? Or are we just going off what they said and what Tony's saying? That's it. Don't you ever walk out on me. Okay, okay. So Brent said we do know that they didn't. I listened to the video. I listened to the body camera footage, but that doesn't tell you everything they saw. Because yeah, I mean, from the body camera, from the audio, it doesn't seem, you wouldn't think that they saw a female. And Brent said that we know that they didn't, and so I'm sure that they do know that. Yeah, and I mean, that's not surprising that's what I was saying. If it would have been anyone else, they would not. There's no way in hell they would have left without seeing the female. But since it was him, it's very well said. Big, small town, big budget. Two things that ripe for corruption. But the one thing we know for sure is there's something on the body camera footage. Again, there's something there. Because if there truly was nothing, we wouldn't be having this. We wouldn't be discussing this right now. They wouldn't sit through lawsuits, federal lawsuits. They would have just released the body camera footage if there was truly nothing on it. Therefore, we know there's something on there. Like some have speculated, maybe it's cars. Maybe it's the cars that were parked there. Maybe it's the tags on the cars, and maybe that's going to tell. I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly what is on there, but we know there's something. There's something on there that we don't know from the audio. You're exactly right, Jennifer. And that's sad. And Brent, you may be right that that's all there is on there. I think there's more. I think there's more. Again, what it is, I don't know. But you will never convince me that there's something on there. Wendy believes there's possibly something on there that is harmful to her in some way. What? I don't know. They apparently checked on the wife 4 days later. Yeah, that's common. That's what you do. That's a joke. And yet we don't even know for sure it was his wife with him. And the more I've looked into it and like read CC stuff and read some other comments, the more I don't believe it was his wife. Now, the one thing I can say from the interview with 1819 News that Tony and his wife did, he's hit his wife. He has abused his wife. I know that without a doubt. I pointed that all out in the little podcast I did on that. Now, that doesn't mean he hit his wife that night. His wife's scared of him. He controls her. She was saying what he told her to say in that interview. No doubt about that. But the more I've read, the more I've looked at, the more I believe it probably wasn't his wife. We also now know the chief and the city admin were called and notified within 24 hours of it happening, I believe right after the incident, and we will prove that in court what time it was. And see, that's crazy to me that the chief wasn't notified immediately, like while they were on scene. That's very shocking to me, especially in an agency that size. Like if it was some huge agency, then yeah, I could see that. It probably still wouldn't happen in a huge agency. Most places, the chief's going to be notified while you're on scene. I've worked at a smaller agency, like I said, Marshall Shoals, and I worked at a much larger agency. At the much larger agency I worked for, and I worked for the sheriff's office. And when I was a little baby deputy, I made a traffic stop in the middle of the night on a city councilman for the city. I didn't work for the city, but I worked for the county that the city was in. But it was a high profile person. And while I was out with him because he was coming from a place he shouldn't have been, and I was wanting to search his car, and my sergeant on set, like we called the sheriff right then. And the sheriff said, do what you got to do. Because we had a good sheriff. But we wanted to make sure the sheriff knew right then, because we knew if we arrested him that it was going to be a big deal. And I can't see, if you work for the city and you get out, you're answering a call that the mayor is butt naked and drunk and accused of hitting a woman, that you don't notify your police chief while you're there on scene, for him to say, hey, y'all make sure to do this, or hey, whatever. I mean, it's just shocking to me. Tony Keenan dressed with a black eye the following Halloween, or the guy that he got in a fight with? Okay, so you do believe the chief was immediately notified. And that's what I was getting at. Like, it would be hard for me to believe that he wasn't. And that's what I wonder. And it's still not right, but I wonder if the chief is not the one that said, y'all clear the scene. Go. I don't know who the chief was back then. So see, I didn't realize this. It's not shocking to me. So Brent says, let's all remember he denied anything ever happening or even being there until the audio leaked. Then it was just there to change clothes. That's not surprising to me. Super Big Daddy Wood says, hey, y'all, Google fired Alabama cop Derek Baker to see what this chud is all about. Google that. I've never been fired. I've never been forced to resign. You troll. Yeah, Google fired Alabama cop Derek Baker. Tell me what you find. There's always got to be trolls. Tony dressed as a guy with a black eye. But no, this guy will lie no matter what. And it comes very natural to him and moves so free. Oh, Steve Brown was he was the chief then as well. So it was the same one. I don't know him personally. I know of him. I've met him a couple times, but I don't know him personally. I think I've got the transcript for the audio, no 911 audio. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I thought you were saying he retired back right after the incident. Yeah, that's the chief that I'd met a few times. But I can't wait for more to come out. I have I can't tell y'all how much respect I have for CC, and I hope everyone realizes how much she is actually doing. And because it's not easy. It's a lot of work, number one. And to bring all that attention to yourself and to go through all of that's a whole other ball game. And I hope everybody realizes that, especially the actual citizens of Orange Beach. And it makes me extremely happy that he has finally met his match. And he knows it, and he knows he's going down eventually. He knows that. I'm telling you, this is not an easy thing to do. I mean, I'm used to getting threats, and with my previous career, and I mean, I've gone through things. I had to move my family out of our house for 3 weeks because a terrorist that I arrested was trying to buy the house next door to us, and so we found out where we lived, and that was a whole mess. I mean, I've dealt with all that. I did not realize I was going to deal with as many threats and stuff as I do now. And so it doesn't really bother me. It bothers me for my family because I'm very paranoid about them, obviously. But for someone like her that has probably not had to deal with that mess, and then as soon as, because I'm telling you, when you start bringing this stuff out, they come out of the woodworks and they will try everything to scare you off. They're going to make up the craziest thing. I mean, just had a guy on, or somebody on here saying I've been fired before. It's the craziest thing ever. People are going to make up just random crazy things about you. They're going to send you threats from fake profiles. I mean, all this stuff. I had a private investigator following me, and some of you know the story. And I caught him following me because I'm good at making sure nobody's surveilling me. And I approached him in the Crunch Fitness parking lot when I got out to work out one day. And I told him that things were not going to work out. And he acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. He was a private investigator. Had his little notebook in there and everything. And I don't know for sure who hired him. I think I know, but I don't know for sure. But it's just, I'm like, why the fuck why do I have to worry about why is a private investigator following me around? Just because I'm calling out corruption. So they will do and they do that stuff to intimidate you. They want to try to intimidate you. And so, again, and that's why I'm saying that. I hope everyone realizes all she is going through just to call out him and to bring the truth out. I mean, I say just, but I mean, it's a really big deal. That's what I mean. But to bring this truth out and to put an end to this mess, because it's not as simple as her just, as they were calling, a keyboard warrior. It's not that simple. Oh, I'm sure she's getting bar complaints, fake Google reviews. I'm sure. I'm telling. All of it is crazy. Insults, slurs, fake accounts of me, her. Yep. We've had a couple of fake accounts of my wife, and I don't ever mention my wife's name. My wife has never been on my podcast or nothing. And we've had to shut down 2 fake accounts of her. She doesn't even have social media. And we've had to shut down 2 fake accounts of her, 3 or 4 of mine. I mean, it's crazy all the things they do. Our own realtor was caught reopening. I think I saw something about that, reopening our financial statements well over a year after our dealings with her. He turned half the town on us for asking one simple question. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring attention to that. Like, it's not as simple as her posting things on social media. That's not. There is so much more to it. It's not easy. It's not. It's so much more stressful than I realized. And now I love what I'm doing now. I love this. I hope I'm always doing this. I feel blessed to be able to do it. But it's not the safest thing, to be honest. And again, I mean, the threats are going to come. It's all kinds of stuff. They'll attack you in any way they can. They will try to intimidate you in any way they possibly can. And you just never know where it's going to come from. And I think in the end, I do think it's all going to come out in the end because she's not going to stop. And it will all be, again, the people that's not seeing it now, they will eventually. But I think the first time I reached out to her, I think was something to do with that because I saw some of the attacks and stuff. And I've reached out to a few people that do similar things when I see them start getting attacked, just to say, hey, if you need anything, just let me know. Like, because it's one thing about like what I do doing this. Sometimes it's the loneliest. It is by far the loneliest career I've ever had. I mean, it gets very lonely at times because there's a lot of times you feel like it's just you. And you're like, who do I trust? Who do I not trust? I mean, we've had people try to get on my team that were hired by people. We've had that happen. I mean, so you don't know who is reaching out to you, if they're truly wanting to help you or if somebody's putting them up to it. So that's why I always try to support the other ones that are going through it and doing it and offer my help in any way, because it's very lonely at times. They've settled with everybody else in the past. We don't want their dirty money. No, you're awesome. And the only people that are not seeing it right now, that are not seeing Tony Keenan for what he really is, they're just the ones that they're just refusing to open their eyes because it's there in front of everybody. So the only ones that still are denying it, they just don't want to believe it. So there's probably nothing else you could do to convince them. They're just, no matter what evidence you show them, they're not going to believe it because they don't want to. And for everyone on, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and notifications. That way you're notified every time. So my full podcast, I do a full podcast, and it's only on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. I do a lot of shorter videos and podcasts and stuff that I put on TikTok and Facebook and X and all that. But as far as my full podcast, you can only find those on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. But make sure you're subscribed. You can find me on any other of all the other platforms under Agent D Baker, or you can go to our website agentdbaker.com, and all the links are on there for all of our platforms that we're on. On Facebook is the only one that's different, and it's just my full name, Derek, Derek Baker. But make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube. My live is every Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central, and Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central. On Wednesdays, it's exclusively on YouTube. So my live on Wednesdays are exclusively on YouTube. So on Mondays and Fridays, it's on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. We do the one on Wednesday nights like this because I can be a lot more outspoken. I can say things that I can't say on the other platforms because they kick me off. So that's why I enjoy this one, the Wednesday night one on YouTube. I can just be more open about things and not have to worry about the words I use and all that mess. But I will see y'all all back Friday night. And again, I'll be on all the platforms then, 9 p.m. Central. Again, make sure you subscribe. If you need any information about me, go to the website, agentdbaker.com. It's got my full resume, per se. We've got courses that we're working with some people on right now that we're going to have up on the website soon. The main one and the first one is going to be what we're calling predator proof, and it's going to be a full course teaching parents, teachers, law enforcement, any adults, how to protect their children from child predators, whether it be online or in their homes, in their normal everyday lives. And it's not going to be a simple 4-page course. It's very in-depth. We've been working on this for over 6 months now. And, we're putting everything in it because I couldn't find it anywhere else. There was nowhere that you could go. And I try to educate parents and teachers and stuff. And I've been teaching law enforcement for a long time, but I try to educate parents and teachers quite often on my lives and on my podcast about how to protect your children, how to make them hard targets versus soft targets. And when I figured out there's no big course out there that just parents or anybody could go to learn a lot of these things. And there's a lot of these, there's so many parents, teachers, and law enforcement that don't know a lot of the tricks of the trade per se. And they don't understand fully how child predators operate, how they groom, where they target your kids, and this course is going to teach you all of that. And also, and just as important, how to make your child a hard target by the simple things that you teach your children that's going to make, if a child predator targets them, that they're going to then, as soon as they try to start grooming your child, they're going to move to another target because they're going to say, okay, I can't, this is not going to work on this one. And again, it's a bunch, it's so much that it's just so hard to find all that information out there. And so we're putting that all together, and I can't wait for that. I can't say exactly when it'll be out because, again, it's hard to put a time on it because we're putting every time I think we're close to getting finished, we'll think of 10 other things. We're like, we got to add this in there. And so, but I'm very excited about that. We're going to get that out. We've also sat down and we're putting together a full plan and goal to where we want an entire website dedicated to that stuff and try to start a whole movement of that education. And we're getting all that put together and we're getting a plan put together and we're going to be raising money for that soon. And when I get all that put together, I'll put it out and tell you how you can donate and what exactly what the money will be going to and all that stuff. But it's just, there's not enough out there. There's not enough education out there teaching these things. And it's a huge problem. Everywhere we turn, there are child predators, and especially on the internet. And so that's one of my main passions right now that we're putting a lot into. But as soon as that course hits live, I'll let everybody know. And again, you can be able to find it on the website. If you or anyone you know is interested in being on the podcast, go through the website. There's a tab you click on there and you just put in your name, email address, and the message, and we will get back to you. If you have any information on any cases, whether it be cases that I'm already covering or something you would like to see me cover, again, send it through there. You can send me messages on the platforms, but I can't promise you I'll see them. I get so many. So the only way I can promise you that I definitely will see them is if you go through the website. And if there's anything I can do for any of you, don't hesitate to ask. And if there's any way I can help you, I will help you. If I can't, I'll tell you I can't. But don't hesitate to reach out. And again, we can't cover everything. There's just too much. So we have to be kind of picky, unfortunately. But don't hesitate to send it. And like I said, if we can help you, we will. But I truly appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. All I ask you to do is subscribe, follow, watch my podcast all the way through, comment on them, like them, repost them, share them, all that stuff. That's what pushes them out to the algorithm, brings more viewers and a bigger following so we can bring more awareness to the things we cover. But other than that, I will see y'all back Friday night, 9 p.m. Central on all the platforms. Welcome to Truth Recon. I'm Agent D. Baker, former narcotics detective, SWAT team member, and U.S. Navy combat veteran. With years of real-world experience in high-stakes environments, I've seen firsthand the dangers that lurk both in our communities and now increasingly online. Before this show begins, understand this. What you are about to hear may be disturbing to some audiences. This podcast contains explicit language, dark themes, and real conversations that are not suitable for children and may be triggering for some individuals. If you choose to continue, do so knowing this content is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.